Do the Consciousness Express. Maybe I need to make a theme song for the Consciousness Express podcast because that was terrible, and maybe needs a little jingle at the start, to get you guys ready, to get you guys feeling. Ooh, there's that tune, there's that catchy tune. Here it is. Woohoo! um, how are you today, guys? How are you all feeling? Welcome back. Good to be here. Good to be talking to you guys. Um, yeah, I'm well. Thanks for asking. Today's podcast, I want to talk about letting go of friends. That sort of topic, because it can be a tricky one for people, friendships, and when they sort of expire in a sense, when they no longer serve their purpose, when they're no longer contributing, and it's time to let go, or it's time to stop hanging out so much, it's time to move on. Can be quite difficult with friendships because multiple reasons. Potentially you've been friends with this person for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. You guys have gone through a lot together. Maybe you guys have gone through some trauma together or some really intense situations together, or you've had each other's backs in the past. You're in the same friendship groups, whatever. You guys have got a past together, and with friendships, can be a long time of sharing moments together and laughter and joy and having, being there for each other. And then sometimes what happens is you start to grow apart. You start to go on different paths, or one of yous starts to choose self-love, to choose self-development, and start to grow and feel better, and you start to realize that the friends you have around actually aren't really contributing to you. They don't really have your back. They don't really have your best interest at heart for you. And it can be kind of eye opening, it can be kind of a rude awakening to realize that. When you look around, you go, actually, yeah, the people I hang around actually aren't contributing to my life. They actually don't make my life any greater. They actually make it worse. And or potentially, you've been friends with this person for 10 years and you no longer vibe. The path is no longer going where it was going in the sort of same direction where you could have that friendship. Now it's different. Now it's sort of, oh, actually, yeah, this person I do feel is holding me back. But it's hard to let go because we've been friends for so long. It's hard to, yeah, how do I have a conversation with this person? How do I go about this? How do I let go of this friendship, or how do I just not see this person so much? It can be so hard, and you can become so stuck on friendships that just no longer are working and no longer are contributing to you. And what that can do is it can really hold you back in the creation of your life because you still are hanging out with people that are not contributing to you, that are not helping you get to where you'd like to go. And so it's like, do you have people in your life that you feel are no longer serving you anymore? Are no longer gifting you something to go create the life that it is you'd like to create. Maybe you have friends that when you hang out with them, you leave feeling worse than when you got there. And if that's the case, then potentially it's time to reassess if that friend is for you anymore. Because my interesting point of view is when you hang out with your friends, you should at least feel the same, if not feel better than when you got there. Not feel worse about yourself. Because how many people do you have in your life that you feel drain you? How many friendships do you have that you're like, oh, I feel drained every time I see this person because all they do is complain. All they do is talk shit about other people. all they do is point out how wrong I am or why they've got it worse or whatever it is. And I don't like hanging out with them, but I feel bad because I've been friends with them for so long. So I should hang out with them, and they don't really have many friends. Whatever reason and justification you have for continuing to choose to hang out with them, even though you know you would be greater or your life would be easier without them in it. And it can be unfortunate because maybe you've been friends for 10 years and it was a beautiful friendship. It's unfortunate, it just now it's served its purpose. It's just like a relationship. There's no guarantee of being with an intimate partner for your whole life. Same with friendships. People come into your life for however long that period is. It might be 6 months, it might be 2 weeks, it might be 5 years, it might be 30 years. And then we have to really acknowledge that if it is time for that relationship, the friendship to transform into something different, we have to honor that. We have to choose that. Otherwise, we aren't honoring ourselves. And we keep ourselves stuck because we're continuing to hang out with people that aren't serving us anymore, that make us feel worse, they're not contributing to us. And so we're letting that drain our energy. And then we're letting that take up space in our lives where if we freed up that space, we could allow other people to show up that would contribute to us on our journey. Because, as we're growing, as we're evolving, as we're developing, our journey changes, our journey expands, and there'll be people that will come and be there with us for some of it. There also people that may be there for all of it or a lot of it. But people come, they serve for whatever time period it is, and then what happens is it's time to move on. You're outgrowing that friendship, or it's just changing. It's no longer working. There's no right or wrong about it. It's just no longer working. Or there might be friendships that are just toxic for you, that really are bad and need to end, whatever it is. And then, but we have to acknowledge that people come and go in our lives. They might be there for a bit, and then that's it. And then we meet someone else, and then when we're creating our lives, then they come in for that period, and they might last for a long time or not. It's just like when you get a new hobby, you make new friends that support that hobby that you're doing to help you with that hobby, to help you develop in that hobby or that interest, whatever it is. And then, you might move to a new level of that hobby, and then you meet new friends, or you might change hobbies. And that friendship, it's no longer working anymore because you just don't actually have that same interest to have that friendship. Whatever it is, that was a long tangent. Um, we have to really surround ourselves with people that are going to nurture us, that are going to contribute something to us in the creation of our lives. If we truly desire to create the life we would like. Otherwise, we will be held back. And at the end of the day, it's your life. And if you're not creating it because you're hanging out with people that are not helping you create it, that are not uplifting you, that are not making you feel good, that are not supporting your dreams, is that the life you truly desire? Do you really want to be having people like that around you that are influencing your energy? Or would you like to actually start to create your life and surround yourself with people that will choose you, that will help you, that will support you, that will contribute to you, that will make you feel better in whatever way that is? And if it is, then you need to start looking at, okay, well, who am I surrounding myself with? Are they actually serving me? Are they actually contributing something to me to make my life greater or not? And if they're not, well, then you have to have that hard conversation with yourself, that hard acknowledgement with yourself, like, okay, well, can we, can this relationship change? And if it can't, well then, okay, well, probably I need to not see this person as much, and it can be, we can fear their reaction. If we're like, oh, this friends, I don't like hanging out with this person anymore because I feel worse, but I really don't want to have that conversation, or how do I have the conversation? It just feels awkward. There's conflict if I do this, and you know, they might say I'm a bad friend, and I need to keep my image that I'm a good friend. They might get angry. They might make me feel guilty. They might, well, how can you leave me? We've been friends for this long. They might get angry about it. Is there a reaction you're fearing? And we have to go beyond that reaction that we're fearing. Um, Otherwise, we'll keep choosing to hang out with them, even though we don't want to hang out with them. It's like if you had a friend who didn't want to be friends with you anymore, or didn't like hanging out with you, but they still hung out with you because they felt bad, or they felt guilty, or they felt obliged to still hang out with you because you guys have been friends for 5 years or 10 years, but they didn't want to hang out with you, but they still did it, and you found out that, would you still want to hang out with them? Would you still want to be friends if you knew they actually didn't want to be friends with you? They just hung out with you because they felt like they should. If you found out that information, would you still go, oh, yep, I still want you to hang out with me because you're obliged to and you feel guilty? Or would you go, actually, yeah, well, I'd rather not hang out with you then. I'd rather go find other friends. So then, if it is that, then you got to look at, well, how many friends are you hanging out with just because you think you should, or because you feel guilty, or because you feel bad for, or because you guys have been friends for so long? Is that fair to them that you're hanging out with them when you don't want to be hanging out with them, pretending that it's all good when it's not, pretending that, yeah, this friendship's amazing when it's not? Be honest with yourself, be honest with the people in your life, so you can create that energy and create relationships where it is a expansive energy. And when you do have people that it is time to move on from, or let go, or just not see so much, it doesn't mean none of the friendship wasn't important, or wasn't something special, or it didn't mean anything. It's just you're changing, life's changing, your journey's going different, your path's going over here. That's just what it is. And there'll be some friendships that it feels like a heartbreak when your paths just start changing. And you have to sort of have that let go moment, and it can feel like a heartbreak. You're like, fuck, this sucks that our lives are changing so much. And you'll grieve. There can be grieving of friendships, and that's totally fine. Allow yourself to grieve a friendship. Don't be like, oh, I need to just cut them off and that's it. Like, let it be. If you need to grieve it, if it is that energy, then do it. And it might be even a toxic friendship that you need to grieve. Fine, so be it. But choose you. Choose for you. Don't surround yourself with people that aren't contributing to you. For what reason are you choosing it? In order to create our lives, we have to be hard in that sense on who we surround ourselves with, because it will influence us in the creation of our lives, even if it's subtly. There'll be big things and there'll be subtle things. And we may fear being the feeling of being alone. It's like, oh, I don't want to, if I don't hang out with these, it might be a friendship group. It might be a friendship group that you don't resonate with anymore, that aren't serving you. It might not just be one friend, it might be actually a group that you don't want to be a part of anymore. You have to choose for you. As tough as it may be sometimes. But it could be like, oh, if I don't hang out with this group anymore, then I don't really have any friends, and then I'll be alone, and I don't want to be alone because that's wrong. So I should just hang out with this friendship group that actually make me feel like shit all the time, rather than be alone, because that's bad. You have to be willing to go alone to get to where you'd like to go. Doesn't mean you will be alone. Just means you have to have that willingness, that energy of, if this isn't working for me, if this isn't contributing to me, if this is really destructive to the creation of my life, then I'm willing to leave it to go to where I need to go and do what I need to do and choose what I need to choose to create the life I'd like to have, because this is my lifetime. It's my life at the end of the day. If I hang out with them and I'm losing time and energy and not creating my life, I'm the one that suffers for that. So do I want to continue that? Yes or no? And be okay with being alone. It's not a wrongness. It's actually, when you're in oneness, you're actually connected to everyone and everything. But when you choose to be alone, if that so happens, you learn to love your own company. You learn to love yourself, and then there's an empowerment when you are happy being alone. You're like, I love me. And then you invite people with that energy too. And when you invite people in like that, they come in, they contribute a lot to you. They're really like, yeah, let's fucking go. We have to free up that space to go, all right, well, I'm going to choose this and I'm creating this. And then the people come and they go, hey, you're cool. I like what you're creating. I'm creating similar, or I'm creating this. And you guys up with each other and you're like, let's fucking go. Let's create. Let's live. Let's enjoy life. Let's love life. Let's get greater together. I'll help you how I can help you. You help me how you can help me. And let's just freaking go for it. What if you surrounded yourself with people like that really had your back, that were there for you, that called you out on your bullshit, that had their own points of views, that were willing to contribute to you how they could contribute to you. So, yeah, this episode really is just to get you to look at who you're surrounding yourself with. And is it time to let go? Is it time to move on? Is it time to start to invite in other people into your life, other friendships that will contribute greater to you? Because, yeah, how many friends do you have in your life that you go, I actually really think this is done. I really don't like hanging out with this person or this friendship group, but I still do it, even though I don't want to, even though I know it makes me feel worse. But it's just so hard to let go. Get vulnerable with yourself. Start to choose for you, as tough as it may be. It doesn't, may mean a conversation with them. Hey, so, I'm starting to really like all these other things, and I'm doing these things, so actually won't be hanging out with you as much anymore. But you don't have to have a conversation. But ask if a conversation is required, and if you need to, then have that vulnerable conversation with them. Or it can just be you just stop spending so much time with them. It's all a choice. And it doesn't mean you have to ghost them and just cut them out like that. Be vulnerable. Choose for you. If it's like, okay, well, I'm just not going to hang out with them anymore, and they keep asking to hang out, say, hey, I just don't. If it comes to the point where they keep asking, like, why you're not hanging out with me, why you're not hanging with me, be transparent, be vulnerable, be honest. Don't just make up bullshit lies. But start to put your energy into what you'd like to create. And if it means, you don't hang out with them that so much anymore, then so be it. But really, yeah, be vulnerable enough to have a conversation if you need to have a conversation. And something you can also do as well is, like, if you have a friend and you're sort of like, oh, I love this person, but I can't hang out with them all the time. It's really hard. And that sort of makes the friendship not that great, but you do love them, and there's things that you do together that you really enjoy. Look at what is it they're giving you. And an example could be you guys dance together. You guys really enjoy dancing together. When you guys dance together, it's just amazing friendship. But the other things, hanging out outside of dance and all of that, doesn't work, because maybe they complain a lot, or maybe they aren't a nice person here, or maybe it just doesn't work. And so, but you're trying to do everything as a friend, like the friendship, you're trying to include everything, and then there's all the parts that drain you as well, and you don't like, and it's not working. That then sort of taints the dancing part, and you're like, oh, I don't really want to hang out with them. Look at with your friends, like these friends. Okay, well, what is it that we connect? What is it that we contribute to each other? And you go, okay, in this example, oh, dance. When we dance together, that is our fun. That's when we enjoy each other and have a great friendship. So you create it as a dance friendship, as this example. So when you hang out, you go do dance. You go do the thing that you know you guys work well together in. And that friendship is a dance friendship. And then you have another friend for playing tennis, and another friend for doing this. And you might have friends that you can do all of it. But, rather than just throw a friendship away, look at, okay, well, actually, when we dance together, it works really well. So I'll keep it just as dance. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you can bring more clarity into your world and more awareness and go, actually, yeah, I can still keep this person in my life. We just dance together, as the dance example. It might be like we just drink coffee together or paint together or whatever it is. And that way you've gone, oh, cool, I don't have to lose them. And I don't have to do the things that I don't like doing with them that are draining me. And I can still have them in my life. I can still have this friendship, and that, well, the activities we do together, it really does serve us. It does feel amazing, and we get along so well, and it contributes to me. It contributes to them. So there's also that too, that you can look at. So yeah, thanks for coming along on that journey. That was just because, yeah, guys, we really need to surround ourselves with people that will contribute to us in some way, shape, or form to get us to where we want to go. Otherwise, we will keep people in our lives that will hold us back. And yeah, at the end of the day, it's your life, it's your time, it's your energy. You're not getting these years back. So choose wisely. That's what I say. And yeah, it can suck. It can suck. I'm not going to sit here and say it doesn't suck to see friendships change, to see friendships go. It can suck, but you just sit in the suckness of it all. Sit in the pain of it if you have to. If it's painful, it's painful. Cool. Feel the pain. Don't avoid it. Don't suppress it. Because it can suck. But it'll suck more holding on to the friendship and watching 20 years of your life go by, and you didn't do what you wanted to do, and you didn't create what you wanted to create because you were holding on to people that were just draining you, making your life worse, holding you back, and you're not where you'd like to be. That's going to suck a lot more than the uncomfortableness, the vulnerability of moving on from the friendship. So, yeah. Until next time, guys, I will talk to you. You can head to www.earthsamlove.com to check out my services and what I'm offering, and my socials at earthsamlove. I'm back on the TikTok, posting some content on there, so that's at earthsamlove, the same thing. So check out my socials, check out my content, and if you want to come get a session with me and change your life, reach out. You can reach out at info@earthsamlove.com. And yeah, I will see you guys later.